Welcome to Riverbend Middle School. My name is Dave Schaefer and I have the privilege of serving as the principal. This video is intended for rising sixth grade students and families. We want to help you as you begin to think about your transition from elementary to middle school. At Riverbend, our kids are the most important people in our building. In every decision that we make, we always ask the question, what is best for our students? Now, we know that this last year, even back until March of 2020, has been different and unique. We've worked through several challenges, but we are hopeful and optimistic that we will soon return to a hybrid model, and then even moving into the fall, getting back to 100% in-person learning for our kids. There might be some different protocols or practices that we use in the fall, but again, we are planning for our kids to be back in the building. It might not look exactly like this, but similar, where we are rolling out the red carpet and we are welcoming our rising sixth graders to their middle school experience. So over the next maybe 35 minutes or so here, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about middle school. Some key individuals, contacts that you should know, some general school information, and then we'll talk about the schedule and courses, and then I'll finish up with just giving you some principal advice. I talk to people all the time, all over the Commonwealth of Virginia and our nation. We know that kids are great everywhere, and that's just the reality. I believe something that is very unique about Riverbend is the overall quality of our faculty and staff. We have so many incredible individuals here that support our students and our community. A little bit about myself. I've been in Loudoun now over 20 years. 8 years ago, I started as the principal here at Riverbend. Currently the middle school, Virginia Middle School Region 4 director. That's most of Northern Virginia. I'll be transitioning into a new role as the Virginia Schools to Watch director coming up here in a little bit. Middle school is my thing. That's my expertise. I've been the middle school educator of the year. I am a husband and father of 3 kids. My daughter is in elementary, and then I have 2 boys, one in middle and one in high school. We have a phenomenal leadership team at Riverbend. These individuals push and challenge me all the time. They are dynamic. I can't say enough about these 5 individuals. A different structure from elementary school. We have 2 assistant principals, Mrs. Kenny and Mr. Fisher. And then we have grade level dean of students, almost like a principal of a grade level. We have Mrs. Wadley, Mrs. Cassander, and Mrs. Dober. They rotate with their students. So Mrs. Wadley is our current 8th grade dean. She will be rotating with our new 6th graders next year, and she'll be with 6th through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We have grade level counselors. The 3rd counselor over, Miss Moroden. Again, she's the current 8th grade counselor. She will be transitioning down to 6th grade. She'll be with you 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Just knowing that dean and counselor throughout the course of middle school, that structure is so critical for our kids. And then Mrs. Robinson is also a counselor that works with students at every grade level in different programs. Part of our unified mental health teams, we have a full-time social worker and school psychologist that work in our building. And then Mr. Robinson, our student assistance specialist, he is not solely at Riverbend. He works all over the Potomac Falls cluster with many different students and families. I'm not going to introduce you to everyone, but here's some key individuals that I want you to know about. We're going to start in our front office. I will start with the 3 ladies on the left. So we have Mrs. Pride and Mrs. Hooper. They are our administrative assistants who work in the main office. They are the ones that will let you in the front door and welcome you into our building and answer the phones. I can't say enough about them. They are so incredible. And then in the middle, Mrs. Wanjon is our financial technician. So as you are setting up, whether it's, buying some kind of supply at the school or signing up for RBM 101, she is the main contact for you. Again, you'll see her in the main office as well, working with Mrs. Hooper and Mrs. Pry. Unique about middle school, we have a full-time registered nurse and an SRO. We'll start with our nurse also in the main office, Joy Jones. She runs our health office and clinic, a little different than the elementary setting. And then we also have a full-time school resource officer, Deputy Mickens. Many of our students know Mr. Mickens because he's been around, he checks in on different elementary schools, but he is stationed here at Riverbend. In total, we have about 150 individuals that help support our entire school. It's different positions from elementary, like our gifted and talented teacher is full-time in our building. We have an in-school restriction supervisor, 2 librarians, a library assistant. We have different instructional facilitators. Something different from elementary would be an added school-based instructional facilitator, parent liaison, reading specialist. All these different individuals come together to support our kids. Riverbend opened in 2002. We are the Riverbend Ravens, and we are aligned with the mission of Loudoun, which is to empower all of our students to make meaningful contributions to the world. Part of our mission and vision is to focus on these 5 cornerstones: learning, diversity, teamwork, high expectations, and community. You hear me talk about these areas more over the next 3 years, but every decision we make is based on kids, what's good for kids, and then we consider these different areas as well. So Riverbend, this map is actually old. This is from 2014 because our boundaries have not changed in several years. We have 5 feeder elementary schools that come to Riverbend. 3 schools are direct feeds. So we have Algonquian, Countryside, and Potomac, meaning that all of our 5th graders from those schools come to Riverbend. Then we have students from Horizon. So about half the kids, 5th graders from Horizon, will go to Seneca Ridge, and the other half will come to Riverbend. And then Sterling, Sterling Elementary, most kids from Sterling Elementary go to Sterling Middle, but we do get a few kids from Sterling Elementary that come to Riverbend. One thing that I love about Riverbend is our building, because it's very developmentally appropriate for middle school kids. We have a house structure where our 8th graders are in house A, our 7th graders are in B, and our 6th graders are in house C. Now, 6th graders will have some classes, like elective classes, outside of that house area, but most of their classes, lockers, restrooms, the support network of the dean, counselor, administrative assistant, that all occurs within house C. So zooming in here, I do want to mention Mrs. Land. So she is our 6th grade administrative assistant, similar to Mrs. Hooper or Mrs. Pride in the main office. She is there to support our entire school, but very specifically our 6th graders. So she's almost like having, almost like a mother for all of our kids and our staff in 6th grade. All right, Riverbend, couple things. We are fully accredited. We are a national school to watch. That means that we are a model school based on a criteria for middle level education. Also part of the Association for School Counselors. We're a model program. There are only a few secondary schools in Loudoun that have received this RAMP designation, Riverbend being one of those. And then also the Virginia Music Educators Blue Ribbon Award. What that means is that our music programs have reached the highest standard when it comes to assessment and the quality of music instruction that we're producing in this building. All right, let's talk about the schedule. One thing that can be very confusing to our students and families is the change from the elementary schedule to the middle school schedule. We operate on a block schedule, A, B day. So every day it rotates. So let's pretend today is an A day. That means that our students would take 4 classes, block 1, 2, 3, and 4. Most of our blocks are approximately 85 minutes in length. Some are a little bit longer, but they're about 85 minutes. There's one class or one block that's split into 2. So during one block, a student takes music paired with resource or spectrum. I'll go over that in a little bit here. All right, I want to start with math. And before I jump into some information about math, I want to encourage all of you to go to our website, because there's a video that explains several significant changes that are happening within mathematics not just at Riverbend or Loudoun County Public Schools, but across the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're currently in a time where we are preparing for new standards. We're operating off of 2016 standards, getting ready for 2023 standards, where a new Virginia Mathematics Pathway Initiative will be rolled out. What this means is this means that rather than have several different options for students at the middle school level, there will be one class. So we will have one math class for all sixth graders, one for seventh and eighth, and that even goes into high school, ninth and 10th. It's replacing traditional classes like an algebra, or geometry, or algebra 2 trig. So significant changes that are occurring in a couple years that now, starting next year, you'll see some variations based on preparing for these changes. Okay, so sixth graders have two selections, and it's not really a selection. It's based on the fifth grade teacher's math recommendation, either Math 6 or Foundations. Math 6 is the next progression of math. So right now, all of our fifth graders take the same math course. They take the fifth grade math SOL in the spring, and the next step would be Math 6. So again, it's foundational skills. It's setting that standard and foundation for kids as they get into higher levels of math. Math 6 students will take the Math 6 SOL at the end of the school year. Many of our kids move up to that level, Math 6. We do have some kids that are ready to accelerate in math. And so instead of taking Math 6, they will skip an entire year of instruction and they'll go to Foundations of Algebra. This is more about looking at like rational numbers, proportional reasoning, algebraic equations. It is definitely an acceleration from the Math 6 course. The pace is much quicker. Students will have more homework in Foundations of Algebra. At the end of the year, students in Foundations will take the Math 7 SOL. So again, they're skipping an entire year of instruction. Sometimes families will say, can my sixth grader take algebra? In previous years, there's been an eligibility criteria for that. That is different, again, as we're preparing for the new standards and the transition to 2023. A very select few may have the opportunity to take pre-algebra, but again, that's working with the fifth grade teacher's recommendation. So this is an overall just progression of where students would be. Our goal is really to provide opportunities for kids to take the highest level of math possible when they get to high school, and specifically 11th and 12th grade. Again, you'll see there, so in 2023, there's some changes that begin to occur. I'm gonna, again, strongly recommend that you go to our website and watch the video that will answer any questions that you may have regarding math progressions. In a typical year, we begin looking at data points. We do look at SOL scores or math assessments. Students take that diagnostic assessment in the fall, winter, and spring. That helps us determine the readiness level for students as they transition into the regular math course or an accelerated math course. This is a unique year because we're relying more on classroom performance, teacher recommendation, and then just a student's passion for math in that. I listed a parent recommendation. We want parents to be a part of this decision, but it really goes to, we don't want to push and accelerate kids if they're not ready for that opportunity. We want to make sound recommendations. And so 99% of the time, we will go with the fifth grade teacher's recommendation for math. Now let's talk about three other core classes: language arts, history, and science. At Riverbend and at many middle schools in Loudoun, all of our students are together taking these core classes. We offer honors, language arts, history, and science. In seventh grade, we begin to separate out academic and honor sections. Now, it's important to understand, parents, that there's no different curriculum or course or a GPA status or an SOL test. None of that is different between those different levels. Unlike a high school AP course where you get a boost on your grade point average, that does not occur at the middle school level. That's why many middle schools have a structure similar to this. Also, just our county's work and our school's work with personalized learning and differentiation. We believe that supporting kids in this transition is important, and not starting as an 11-year-old thinking about their high school graduation, thinking more of transitioning and then beginning that process once they hit 7th and 8th grade. So if you have questions about that, we have great resources on our website related to personalized learning or honors academic, what that looks like, what that would look like leading into even 7th and 8th grade as well. All right, language arts. So language arts is a unique course because this is the one course that you will take every single day. There's a lot of reading and writing. Our teachers do a workshop model. They look at elements of literature and narrative structure. It is a, thinking about having that time every single day, we see tremendous growth in our students during the 6th grade year. Another class that they'll take is U.S. history. So this begins with the birth of the United States, goes the whole way until like the rebirth during the Civil War era, so up until 1865. Then science, so students, all 6th graders will take an honor science level. This is really kind of a continued development of just understanding nature. There's lots of, different topics from the solar system to energy, force, water. They even do like basic chemistry concepts in science, lots of hands-on activities. All of our 6th graders always love science. It's one of the favorite classes. Every 6th grader will take health and physical education. And in fact, you will take health and physical education 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It's required for all students. Let's talk about the physical education part. Different than a recess, it is a time to expose students to a wide variety of individual and dual sports, team sports, fitness activities, recreation activities. The health component is something new. So that is almost at times can be a classroom setting where students are learning about their bodies, some basic anatomy and physiology. They're learning about diet, nutrition, and stress management, diseases. That occurs in a health aspect of health and PE. Also, family life education comes out of here. FLE, that's something that parents can opt out of or opt into. That occurs during this course. Now, art is a unique course paired with Introduction to Computer Applications as a semester course. So students will take art either the first or the second semester. It's not dependent on alphabetically by last name. It's randomly determined based on different team structure to balance class sizes out. But this is art. They do all kinds of projects. Kids will keep portfolio. This is paired, again, with Introduction to Computer Applications. Now, if you've been around Loudoun for a while, you know that we used to offer keyboarding. This is a similar class, but it's definitely enhanced. So kids do learn some basic touch key skills of keyboarding, but they also learn about business, computer science, entrepreneurship. Again, all of this occurs as a semester class. So you'll either take this the first half of the year or the second half of the year. Music. So music is a required course, and this is the one choice that kids get. They get to choose between band, chorus, music lab, or strings. Those are 4 choices that all 6th graders in Loudoun will select. On our website, all of our teachers in each of these courses have made a video that tells you everything that you would need to know about band, chorus, music lab, or strings. How to rent instruments, how to buy instruments, practice times, concerts, all of that. There's examples of like what's the difference between an oboe and a French horn. All of that is right there. Let's jump into these a little bit. So band, again, there's a variety of instruments that students can take. Our band teachers will, in addition to these videos, they will be holding Q&A sessions the first week of February, just to answer any questions that you might have about that. Students will get an opportunity to select their instrument. In a traditional year where we were all in person, we would have instrument tryout nights where students would come in and they would try all the instruments. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we can't do that right now. And so there's a Google survey on our website where students will get to select either their band or their string instruments. Something about band and strings, again, students rent or own their instrument. There is practice outside of school time. There's also a commitment when it comes to being involved in a concert. We always do a spring concert, and then usually like an informal concert in the winter at some point. Music Lab is a general music course for sixth graders in Loudoun. Every school treats it a little different. We have one of our teachers, Dr. Kostler, teaches this. He is a phenomenal guitar player, and it's really geared towards students that want to play guitar in 7th and 8th grade. So we have an Intro Guitar 6 course, which is Music Lab. And then chorus, if you love to sing, this is a great class for you, whether it's individually or in a collective ensemble, writing music. This is a course, again, that also has, evening concerts that go along with this class. All right, let's talk about Resource and Spectrum. So Resource, all students, with the exception of students in Spectrum, take Resource. It is a very structured study hall where students work on, there's some remediation and enrichment that occurs. When students need to make up some homework or make up a test or work with a teacher, all of that occurs in Resource. There's other things that happen like presentations, like our counselors will come in and talk to the kids about different courses or academic planning, study skills, organization, all that happens through Resource. Spectrum is a little different. So Spectrum students are found eligible through a multi-step process to become eligible for our Gifted and Talented program. At the elementary level, this is Futura. So students that are currently in Futura will automatically be enrolled into Spectrum. So Spectrum, things that they do in 6th grade, they do business and economics, technology, engineering, communication, culture, ethics, perspective, lots of really engaging enrichment activities that occur in Spectrum. When there are presentations, like when the counselor comes in and they talk about courses and academic planning, our Spectrum students are a part of that as well. So you're not missing out anything for students in Spectrum. All right, so a typical schedule, our doors open 30 minutes before the start of school. Students come in, there's different things from breakfast to meeting with teachers to being at their lockers and getting organized that occurs. The school day starts at 8:30. Again, most of our blocks are about 85 minutes. We have 5-minute transitions. School ends at 3:18. This is our current schedule. I believe it will look very similar next year, where our 6th graders collectively eat as an entire grade level between 11:50 and 12:20. The food in our cafeteria is really phenomenal. Lots of fresh food. The prices are great. I eat at our cafeteria every day. When it's nice, we get our kids outside to eat. We do have a little bit of recess time. We believe it's important for kids to have some independence and social time, and especially be outdoor and get another opportunity outside of health and PE just to run around and be kids and play. That's so important. All right, let's talk about moving to middle school, everything you need to know about getting ready here. I want to start with the most important thing, our website. On our website, in the middle of our homepage, there's a whole section for rising 6th graders and new students. When it comes to music videos for different courses or that survey for music, this video will be on there, contact information. So make sure that you go to our website. It is updated frequently. Let's talk about music. Again, the music selection videos are on the website. These have also been shared with 5th grade music teachers. So your son or daughter may have already seen some of these videos, but this is a great way as a family to sit down, talk about different elective and have your child make that selection with you. Our music teachers will be offering a question and answer time February 3rd and 4th, both those days at 6 o'clock through Google Meet. And then, as I mentioned, students will sign up for either band, strings, guitar, or not guitar, Music Lab and chorus What they don't sign up for through Student View or Parent View is the actual instrument that they'll play. So if you are in band or if you are in strings, it's important that you do the course selection survey, which is on our website. It's just a Google Doc where you would pick your first choice and your second choice of instrument. Now, this orientation video, you're watching it now, I want you to share this with friends and neighbors, make sure that everyone has access to this so that they're prepared for middle school. I will offer a Q&A session on February 10th at 6 through Google Meet, similar to our music teachers, just to answer any questions that you may have. When it comes to the selection process, it's open now and it closes at the end of February. The 5th grade teachers right now are making math recommendations for that Math 6 or Foundations of Math. The music teachers will be helping our students select between band, strings, music lab, or chorus. And then again, it's important if you're playing an instrument in band or strings that you fill out that survey on our website. A key deadline here, we have a deadline at the secondary level for any kind of schedule changes. This is because we have to lock in our staffing and our schedule. So anything prior to April 1st, we can make changes. If you signed up for chorus and you want to change that to music lab, we can do that for you prior to April 1st. The main contact here is our rising 6th grade counselor, Catherine Smorodin. So catherine.smorodin@lcps.org. Reach out to her. She can help you with that. One thing that we will not do is we will not change a math recommendation unless there's supporting data behind that. So for example, if a 5th grade teacher makes a recommendation for Math 6 and a parent calls and they say, we want to change that to Foundations of Algebra, unless there is really strong supporting data, we won't make that change. Again, the 5th grade teacher knows your child better than we know, and so it's important for us to be aligned with those recommendations. All right, some of you in our community have heard about RBM 101, that's Riverbend Middle 101. This is a camp prior to the start of school year. We're planning for an in-person RBM 101, August 5th and 6th. It's $60 to come to this. It's all day for 2 days. Students get different giveaways and recognitions. All kids get a t-shirt for this. After April the 1st, the cost jumps up to $75. So if you want to save $15, sign up before April the 1st. Starting February 1st, applications and ways to pay online will be available on our website. Those of you that have older siblings or children, 7th and 8th grade, we are actually planning a brand new RBM 201 for our rising 7th and 8th graders. This is just an opportunity for them to have an experience like our rising 6th graders. Here's some pictures. It's great to be able to bring students from 5 different feeder elementary schools, or students that are moving in or brand new, come together. You make lots of friends. There's all different kinds of activities. We have speakers. We have scavenger hunts throughout the school. Students open their locker. They get their actual schedule. They can decorate their locker. Lots of hands-on team building activities. It really is just a phenomenal 2 days where kids that do the RBM 101, they feel completely ready to step into middle school. So coming soon, RBM 101. Again, in February, the applications and ways to pay that $60 fee will be on our website. Now, we do recognize that some of you will not be able to come. Maybe you're on vacation or out of town. We're planning an in-person open house on August 24th from 4 to 6. This is not back to school night. At the middle school level, back to school night occurs after the start of the school year, usually sometime in September. We have it on our calendar already. I can't remember the actual date, but it's a Wednesday, I believe a Wednesday in September. Something that is different about middle school is we do not mail schedules home. Schedules will be available in Student View and Parent View about 1 week prior to our open house night. All right, we are almost finished. I'm going to give you my top 10 list of ways that you can get connected as a family to our school and community. So number 10 These are known not in particular order, but number 10 is to follow us on social media. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we put pictures and videos and shout outs for our kids and information, things happening in our community almost daily through social media. So make sure that you stay connected through these different apps. We also have the LCPS app. You can follow us on there. That's also a great way if you have children at the high school or elementary. You can follow all your kids with one app. All right, number 9, I believe it's really important for school spirit to get some spirit wear at some point during middle school. So our spirit wear you can buy right now. It's available online. We have an online store through Cheer Sports. It's located right next to One Loudon. But it's always great to be out in the community and see our kids and families with Riverbend gear. All right, number 8. Our musicals are phenomenal at Riverbend. We have a drama class, exploratory dramatics, that students can begin to take in 7th and 8th grade. It's almost like high school, college level quality of our performances. So this is a great way as a family to come into our building, see what we do. We are planning a spring musical this year. For next year, all 6th graders are eligible to be in the musical, whether it's on stage or tech crew. There's just so many opportunities for kids to get connected through the fine arts. All right, number 7, our Parent Teacher Association, PTA. We have all different events that support local restaurants, different organizations. We have a big basketball game that we hold at Potomac Falls where our students and staff play together. I'm going to jump to number 6, which is also PTA sponsored. We have donut dates where we want our kids to bring their mom or their dad or family member into the building. It's a very easy way to get to be visible in the building and to support your son or daughter. I know sometimes even as a parent, I always thought, in elementary, my children need me, but once they hit middle school, they don't really want me in the school. And that's not true. Our kids want to see us, and it's important for us to be a part of their education, especially during their adolescent years. All right, number 5, here's a couple pictures of many of our clubs that we offer. This is a Science Olympiad and a running club. We offer so many extracurricular activities and clubs. We do not start at the beginning of the year. This is very purposeful. We want our students to settle in during the month of August and into September. And then at the beginning of October, we begin to roll out our clubs. Something unique about Riverbend, most middle schools charge a fee for their clubs. We don't charge fees for our clubs. We want all of our students to have access and participate in several different clubs throughout their middle school career. All right, number 4, you as a family and students, staff, you can get involved in Spirit Days and Spirit Weeks, whether that's virtually now or in person when we're together soon. One of my favorite Spirit Days was we had a pet day. This is the first ever. We had so many creative pictures of pets from families and our staff members. So get involved, be creative with Spirit Days and Weeks. All right, number 3. There are 2 programs that you should know how to use as a parent. First is Schoology. This is our learning management platform. So all of our assignments, assessments, materials, resources for all courses, all run through Schoology. Students have been using that all year. Most of them are comfortable with that. That's even expanded once you hit to the secondary level. And then I would say, probably the most important thing that you need to know as a parent is you need to know your login for ParentVUE. You need to have that app on your mobile device or on your computer because everything now runs through ParentVUE. It starts with the schedule. So our courses are on the schedule, students' schedules are there, transportation routes, meals, report cards are on there. Everything that you need as a parent is in ParentVUE. So make sure that you know how to log into that. All students will receive a laptop just like at the elementary level. We have a 3-year program where we recycle those devices so our students always have a new and fresh device. I get asked the question all the time, does my child need a cell phone at middle school? They absolutely don't. So with the technology we have available in this building, there's really no need to have that additional piece. I know sometimes as a parent, I want to be able to communicate with my child. Just our different structures of administrative assistance in the front, in the house. We have many ways to support communication between home and school. And so I know it's disappointing students, but you really don't need a cell phone during your middle school years. We may have some kids that bring a phone in. In a traditional year, our students would keep those phones locked in their locker. They don't use them throughout the day because they have access to their computer. All right, number two, something that we believe in at the middle school level is helping our students build self-advocacy skills. We want our students to communicate with their teachers. We want them to feel comfortable asking for help. When they're struggling with an area, when they have questions, we want our students to be involved in that process. I know sometimes as a parent, I want to reach out and I want to email teachers about things. And there's definitely a time and a place for that, but we also want our students to be involved in that process. Again, we have an incredible instructional faculty and staff in this building. We're here to support your child. So just know that over the next 3 years, we have a goal of building self-advocacy skills. All right, then number one, I mentioned this before, I'm coming back to it because it's so important. You need to be connected to our school through our website. It is frequently updated. If you want to just see, like a daily announcement, what announcements look like in our building, if you have questions about anything, information is available on our website. So make sure that you're going to lcps.org/RBMS. I mentioned our 5 core commitments. I'm going to go back to those as we close out. Learning. Middle school is all about learning new things, taking risk. This is not the time to focus on grades. This is the time to focus on learning and effort and exploring. Students will be doing that over the next 3 years. Also, I believe the greatest strength of Riverbend and our community is the diversity that we have. We believe in listening to different perspectives, being empathetic, and understanding different cultures and ethnicities. That is, again, one of the strengths of our building. I believe that we are actually more creative and innovative because of the diversity that we have in our school and community. The third is teamwork. So middle school is really big with teams when it comes to collaborative learning teams, interdisciplinary teams. There's a time and a place for independent work, but many of our students in classes are working in pairs or in small groups. We know that lots of learning happens through communication and collaboration. Our fourth is high expectations. We will push and challenge you during your middle school years. 6th grade is a transitional year, not a lot of changes, but you will begin to get into higher level courses, high school courses. We want you, again, to focus on learning and progressing and growing. It's not always about the grade, but here's just an example of some of our 8th graders, I guess a year and a half ago, that have done just tremendous things in our school and our community. And community, our last commitment here, we believe in supporting our students first, our staff, our families, and our community at large. There's many different great activities that we have. We're going to expose your kids to unique experiences over the next 3 years, and we're going to grow as a community of learners. So the last slide I have here, in our building, we have posted up a couple different places. In a world where you can be anything, in a world where you can do anything, we want you to be kind. We really focus on this concept of supporting students in their words and their actions and being kind toward others. That's so critical during your middle school years. Again, this building has many individuals who will support your son or daughter over the next 3 years. It's great to connect virtually. Again, this video is meant to give you information about transitioning to middle school. I hope that you join me for the Q&A session coming up. I hope that you share this video with others. Feel free to reach out to me with questions. And welcome to the Ben. The next 3 years, we will have just a tremendous time with each other.